I get to the quote of the day, and before we go to Gerald Celente, I wanted to get into some financial news. But first, Bill Gates funds technology to destroy your sperm. And this is a Natural News article, but it cites BBC News and others. Of course, BBC News receives money from Bill Gates to propagandize, so does ABC News, but then they hide that info. You think you're hearing about how he's holy and wonderful and cares about you and your family, just because these publications are all writing that for no reason, though they're being paid. But now they're moving forward with a system to use ultrasound to sterilize men. And then they can offer them cash payments. Or you want welfare? Great, we've got to sterilize you. Of course, already doing it to the water and the rest of it, so there's that report. Now, before we get to the quote of the day and Gerald Celente, I wanted to set this up here because we're going to get into financial news with him. S&P warns of cuts. Another U.S. downgrade coming. And, my issue is this is the same mega banks that actually created all this fraud, now through their ratings agencies they control, who've certified their fraud in the past, saying that governments are beholden to them when it's governments that actually bailed them out. So just amazing information on that front. Continuing here, again, home ownership rates fall to 66% as downturn nears a bottom. They've been telling us it's the bottom for years now. It's a part of a controlled implosion. House prices hit post-bubble low. Politicians out in California say we got to have more taxes and squeeze more people or we're going to go bankrupt. You're bankrupt because you destroyed your economy for consolidation. Here's another one. AA, American Airlines to cut up to 15,000 more jobs. And, of course, because they're bankrupting all the other airlines right now with the TSA groping to where it's only business flyers that have to fly. It's all part of shutting down our movement in the country. People say, doesn't TSA know $40 billion in tourism's lost every year? Yeah, they know, up top. That's why they're going to make it as bad as it is so you won't fly. If they need to grope your 2-year-old daughter and go in her pants and make her cry, if they need to pull colostomy bags off, they're going to do it. Because part of the savage, of course, the idiots doing this don't know that. They're not brain bugs. They're just little minion robots, little biological brainwashed androids, basically aren't even human. They've given their souls over to this, but they'll be replaced with rape robots, groper robots soon enough. By the way, they're working on those. You can look that up. You're going to be searched by groper robots soon. Continuing here, bad economy forces welfare agency hiring spree as it gets worse. And who administers this? J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the rest of them. So the only part growing in the economy is the welfare agencies who make you take every new vaccine to get your money so you'll be good and poisoned and die early. U.S. alcohol sales raised 2.7% in 2011. People are getting drunk more, so everything collapses, just like in England. That's just some of the news. All right, continuing here with teleprompter-free news, I want to give you the quote of the day. And here it is from Woodrow Wilson, who got set up by the globalists and later started speaking out before they killed him. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. The growth of the nation and all activities are in the hands of a few men. We have come to be one of the most worst ruled and one of the most completely controlled and dominated governments in the civilized world. Woodrow Wilson in a letter to a friend that has been published, 28th President of the United States. Okay, we're going to go to break and come back with the one, the only, with a long interview extended with Gerald Celente. I did it right before we shot this part of the news. It's powerful. It's so good, I'm going to air a lot of it tomorrow on the radio. We've got a big extended hour-and-a-half interview with Fritz Springmeier tomorrow, backed by popular demand on the radio, 11 a.m. Central, internet and video streams at prisonplanet.tv and Infowars.com. But if you want to finance what we're doing here and support, we're not like the government that takes your tax money and pays it to MSNBC to say we should turn our guns in. We're funded by you volunteering and becoming a prisonplanet.tv member. We got 15-day free trial going. We're going to extend the 44% off for one more week so folks can get that early bird special on a year membership, 44% off, prisonplanet.tv. And if you're watching this out there on the web with the millions that watch it every week for free, that's great. It's those that are members that pay it forward and finance our operation so we can reach out to you. But think about becoming a member if you haven't been one, if you believe in what we're doing at prisonplanet.tv. All right, that's it for this segment. We'll be right back with Gerald Celente.
We were brought up loving our country and our Constitution. And in the United States of America, we were free. And that's an attitude that we've tried to instill in our children. I met my wife while in the Air Force. I was a combat pilot in Vietnam. I served in Desert Storm as a commander. When I graduated from the academy, I took the oath of office. And as a commander, I administered that oath to many people. Now I wonder about the understanding people have of our Constitution, and I think about our candidates for President of the United States. It's interesting to see the support Ron Paul gets from the military. And if we think back to the code of conduct and people raising their right hand that they were going to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, why would those same people support in great numbers Ron Paul? I think it's because they know that he supports the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't mean you have to go to war to do it. It means you have to understand what the Constitution is and be a supporter inside of your own country, whether you're in the military or not, of that Constitution, and make the United States strong. And Ron Paul does that. That's his feeling, that's his thrust. And that's why if you look at the percentages that support him in the military, it's huge. Why is that? Because they've raised their right hands and they're putting their lives on the line for us here in the United States, and they know that Ron Paul does the same.